You're watching Coach Speak with Erik DeRoo. So now that AAU season is pretty much winding down, there's only one or two more big events that college coaches really can't even go to. At least Division I coaches can't go to live with AAU. So now, as we transition into high school, starting in the high school season, I wanted to wrap up July recruiting one more time and kind of talk about what you do next after July recruiting before high school season starts. Let's get right into it. So if I had a daughter that was high school age, recruitable age, getting recruited to some degree, either receiving phone calls or letters of schools, what would I do next? I would start talking to college coaches about unofficial visits. With college football right around the corner, about a month or so left until college football games start, there will be plenty of unofficial visits had in the next 3 to 4 months during college football season. College basketball coaches love unofficial visits during football games because, one, it helps fill the day with a live football event. And who doesn't love going to a live football game? There's a lot of people in town. There'll be a ton of fans. There'll be tailgating. It just fills the day with positive things and a lot of people, which is always a good thing. You likely go on a tour. And because school has started, most of the athletes will be there. So most of the potential teammates that your daughter or son could play with or have questions for will be there. Going back to having questions, ask these athletes questions. This is a time where you won't be surrounded by the coaches at all time, because I'm assuming that we're more people on the unofficial visit than just you, or official visit than just you. Ask players questions, as many questions as you want about the program, about the coaching staff, about the life on campus, anything that you could want or ask. Make sure to ask the athletes when you see them. They'll answer whatever pretty transparently, probably even more transparent than the college coaches, and they'll have a more realistic answer from the college athlete side. But going into it, again, after July, I would start contacting coaches and getting idea of unofficial visit days and planning out what campuses I'm going to go see. Especially now that July is over, you probably heard at this point from all the college coaches that are going to be recruiting you or potentially recruiting you. If you haven't received mail yet, then maybe that's still going to come in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. But you should have an idea of Division I's that you're on their radar and could potentially do an unofficial visit with. So start taking those dates down and start planning ahead of where could we end up going for an unofficial visit. The next part is if you aren't getting contacted by coaches, either you're still young or you're an older high school student, maybe going into your senior year, you still haven't heard from college coaches yet. This would be a great time to wrap up 4, 5, or 6 highlight videos. And I said that, and I don't think I was like, man, that's a lot. So I know it's a lot. But if you went to multiple events, I would do a highlight video per event, 2 or 3 minutes of each event if you have that video. And most of you should. You have to go back and buy the video from whoever was videotaping it or live streaming it, or if you brought your own camera and you have it and you have the film. Per tournament, go back and make a highlight video, 3 minutes max of your best stuff, and start posting it to social media and start tagging college coaches and start sending those clips out to college coaches that are realistic. If you're going into your senior year and you don't have a Division I offer yet and you have no Division I's contacting you, you still have a shot, but it's going to be a long shot. It's going to be a long shot. I know we're a Division I program that has most of their commitments already done. We're not looking to add any more 2022s to our recruiting list. So we've already moved on to the next classes. So this part of the year, there's only going to be a few more 2022s offered before college coaches just move on to the next class or move on to the transfer portal. So if you're 2022, not that your dream of playing Division I basketball is over, because there's still a shot. It's just going to be that much harder. So maybe starting to tag Division II coaches and junior college coaches, NEI Division III coaches, just to see what kind of offers and interest you can get at this point, and start taking visits. If you start taking visits, if you have any ability to take a visit to a college campus, do it. You learn more about yourself. You learn more about the college program. You learn more about what you want in a college program, the more visits that you take. It doesn't matter if it's official or unofficial. Take visits that you can take at no matter what level that you're getting recruited at or have the ability to get recruited at. If I was a parent, I would take my student athlete to as many unofficial visits as possible. Earlier, the better. You get to know college coaches. Every time you meet a college coach, you're going to learn more about them and learn more about their program and more about who they are as a human being and who they are as a coach. When you talk to their players, you'll get a better gauge of what the system and the feel actually is like day in, day out. If you only take one visit, it's just harder to build a relationship and understanding of another human being one time you meet them. And there's nothing wrong with committing and getting recruited after you meet a coach one time. There's nothing wrong with it. It happens all the time. There's great situations come of it. But if I was a high school parent and taking my daughter or son around, I would take as many visits as possible to get vibes and understand who people are really about, and just to see if my son or daughter could fit at those campuses and fit in that program. That you'll get exchanges with these college athletes, and you'll know pretty quick if you want your child hanging out with those student athletes. Good, bad, or another. Maybe you really love them, maybe you don't, and you don't vibe with them. And so at least you can make an opinion as a coach, as a parent, as a prospect yourself, by going on unofficial visits. So the next 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 months, before the high school basketball and college basketball season start, a ton of unofficial visits are happening, and make sure you're a part of it. If you're getting recruited and or want to get recruited, pump your highlight videos out on social media and email, personal emails, not mass email, personal emails, to college coaches that are realistic. If you don't hear back from college coaches, then move on to the next one. Like, move on to the next coach or the next level, just until someone reaches back at you with some type of feedback. It's always about feedback. You always want a response back. And if you don't get a response back, just move on. Move on to the next coaching staff, move on to the next level of program. If you're not getting Division I interest, drop to D2. If you're not getting D2 feedback, drop down D3, NAI, junior colleges, etc. If you really want to play college basketball, it shouldn't matter what the level is. Thanks for watching Coach Speak with Erik DeRoo.